Hey, can I get a intro joke? Intro joke machine broke. Understandable. Hi, I'm back again. I'm pretty drained today, to be quite honest. This weekend was a very draining one, and I'll get into it. But, yeah, welcome to more MaGMML3. I am still excited to be playing this game, though. It's always a treat to be enjoying, probably the best fan game I've ever played, so we're back here in Tier 9. Gonna, I won't say wrap things up tonight, but probably this week we'll get to the end of Tier 9. To start off, we're gonna be talking to Dive Man here. I've been craving one of these sandwiches. Tell me about it, man. Welcome to the Dive Bar. Ah, I get it. Where the menu is 20,000 leagues deep. I also get it. Due to a shipping mix-up, all I have is mayonnaise. What can I get you? Can I get mayonnaise? Like a drink. I looked at in reality of my customers didn't ask to consume mayonnaise as a beverage. Look, buddy, you're, the Mega Man community is one of wonderful freaks. You're gonna have to settle. Someone's gonna wish today. Here's a jar of my finest mail. Let me guess, you're marking it with an M? Too much mayonnaise already? Yeah. Not sure I want them answered. Is the, are M-Tanks just mayonnaise? Are all robots secretly powered by eggs, fat, and acidity? That would make it kind of weird and relatable to humans, but also not in a normal way. Oh, shit. Hey, Grim. It's nice to see you. It's going pretty well. I'm, a little bit just tired today. Nothing too bad, but, you know. It was a long weekend. Just mayonnaise, different brands, though. Craft Highland Metals, Blues Plate. But, I mean, overall, I'm doing pretty nice. I'm glad to be playing more MaGMML3, as always. You consider the logistics of a mayonnaise sandwich. I mean, you could harden some mayonnaise and turn that into a crust and then fill it in between. This is not appetizing, but I'm just trying to... you wanted logistics, how to do it. But yeah, let's see. Devil Factory by Cheese. Okay. 25% time penalty. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Alright. So yeah. Banger tune. Alright, maybe this will actually wake me up. So, yeah, my weekend was largely spent with, let's see, making that, Aetherman clip that I, released. I'm very happy to, finally have gotten some... Is this gonna kill me? Okay, it'll just hurt me. To have made content out of the Aetherman saga, and, man, oh man, did it take forever just to edit those 4 minutes down into something watchable. So it took... what part of my weekend was not spent at the DMV or trying to unsuccessfully get a haircut, the rest of it was spent editing that Aetherman video, so... Yeah. Not too much time, even though I took a three-day weekend, but I'm alright with that. It's okay. We'll recover with Labor Day weekend up here. Horseradish cheddar goes a long way on a sandwich. I mean, that does sound good. I'm not sure if it can save a purely mayonnaise sandwich. Okay, that's interesting floor mechanic. It looks like Legos, but it feels, you know, it looks like Legos, but it has the physics of jelly. I can't believe I fell for that. God, Aetherman was an experience. It sure as hell was. I mean, it's so much of an experience that I keep calling the stage Aetherman stage, even though it's Arcane Man. But one of them very clearly stole the show from the other. And, maybe not in the best way. But, I don't know. Stage would have been fun if it just toned down on... well, a couple of things. 1, the text boxes. 2, the visual effects. 3, the... oh my god, this is overly edgy anime everything. But, you know, decent enough concepts for a level, and some end gimmicks here and there. So I can't fault it too much. It's better than what I've made, which is nothing. I haven't quite acknowledged it yet, but this actually is, I like this gimmick a lot with the moving devil blocks. It's more interesting than just plain old Yoku blocks. And as I say that, they basically put a devil counter right in the middle of the stage. This is actually cool as hell. Oop. Yeah, only hit once. Take that, Yellow Devil Mark block. or mark whatever. Alright, give me that one up. Take it. Nice it as well. Oops, didn't want that. Or maybe I did. Aetherman's a better overall fight compared to Arcane Man. I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, I'd actually have to try fighting Aetherman without E-Tank cheese and spam and all that, but I actually kind of enjoyed fighting Arcane Man. Despite how chaotic it was, it did feel kind of nicely balanced. Okay, that's a tight squeeze to get through. It did feel pretty nicely balanced in my opinion, whereas Aetherman just kind of felt like a, you know, typical super boss mess. But that's just me. Hey, I could probably fit under here. Sweet. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. Ice wall the answer? Oh, that's... Alright, the confusion got me, but that's an interesting mechanic. I didn't expect the devil to be lava? That's a very good use of probably whatever that line of code is that turns things into freezable by ice wall. Can't fight Arcane Man without spamming tanks. It's definitely kind of difficult, but for me it's like I eventually just kind of like, I don't know, I go into a zen mode where it's like, okay, I kind of understand the general rhythm of what he's going for, even if I don't understand each attack that's coming at me. And just like, I don't know, it turns into a dance of anticipating an attack, sliding, etc. I could probably fight Aetherman a little better without spamming tanks. I would just have to actually get used to the pattern, because I don't know, that one just doesn't jump out to me as easily. I know, does Ice Wall go through spikes? Probably not, right? Okay. So align myself up here, summon an Ice Wall. Alright, that's neat. That's very neat, though. I wasn't thinking that there's going to be some extra layer of complexity to this weird devil juice that I'm hopping into. But to have the Ice Wall as an option, it's good to know. I will say, outside of that one secret, and I guess maybe the one or two platforming things that's come up with it, that devil juice didn't really do a whole lot as far as like gimmicks go. Like, it just, I don't know, it doesn't change the gameplay very much, but maybe that's about to change. Now we have bouncy devil juice. Alright, sweet. Every time I think that I have the stage pinned, there's something new to it. Okay, it's making this guy a lot harder to fight. Especially now that I'm jumping way the hell over him. Something out of One Piece. I can see that. I don't know very much of One Piece, but from the very little that I do know, that does sound about right. God, lightning speed devil blocks, holy hell. I don't know. To me, devil juice just sounds like some kind of just sounds like a dog whistle for some kind of drug that maybe, like, you know, someone in the 70s would have used. Oh, I get it. I have to push the conveyor belt. Very clever, making me actually have to use this. That's good. I don't think the original Mega Man's ever made you, like, sweat in fear over what direction the conveyor belt's going to be. But name for Hawaiian Punch because it's nasty. Hawaiian Punch is one of those weird, like, drinks to me where it's like, I kind of like it, but also it's the only drink I can describe as, like, making my mouth feel drier after I drink it than before. I don't quite understand the physics on that one, but it's a very striking phenomenon when you go for something refreshing and then all of a sudden your mouth feels kind of rubbery. I always wondered why they'd also never bothered to make, like, more flavors of Hawaiian Punch too. It's, at least as far as I'm familiar with, it's just the one red one. but it feels like the perfect opportunity to make multiple other things. Seems like unnecessary in the world has been made fruit punch and high C fruit punch. I don't know. I was just in a household that didn't have that, so they didn't have those very often. For some reason, Hawaiian punch was the main. So, ooh, that's a very cute background up there. Let's see. What? Oh, okay. More devil rooms. Very, very tight devil rooms, if I may say so myself. Well, I guess I do have all the space to work with that I'm not working with. PC. Gotcha. Alright. So we gotta have a devil boss here, right? Ooh, and it's making use of that weird, like, how there's been a bunch of invincible enemies so far. Very, very nice. Okay, so that's how that pattern works. Alright, well that one's not super threatening, but I guess it prevents you from just full blasting every jump. Alright, a boss with no iframes either. Good, I can... Now if it would just stay on my level, then I could pump it full, but then I guess that's good design, making it so I can't just completely spam bullets into it. It's a very creative, fast-paced devil boss, and I think this is excellent, too, for how it balances the normally, like, kind of slow pacing of a devil boss, where you have to just wait for your turn to actually be able to damage it, without making it too trivial to, actually attack it. This is kind of brilliant, honestly. Now, what are those 5 little munchkins up there doing that I'm not paying attention to? What are they gonna start doing to me when I'm least expecting it? Oh, they're starting to join forces now. The jig is up. Trying to drop on my head. I'm not gonna let that happen. Oh. Guys. Sweet. 28 double cores. Yeah, that's an excellent boss. Holy hell, that really ties things up nicely. That works on some already great existing gimmicks. Nice pattern within the Mega Man series. Of course, you gotta have devil bosses. As I mentioned, great balance of offense and defense to it. Simple, recognizable patterns that still can, be a little tricky to dodge. Wonderful. Great gimmicks, bumping music, excellent stage. I could see how it would definitely be way higher if it didn't have that time penalty. Let's see. Excuse the tedium problems. Gimmick obstacle hybrid, and it's very interesting. Agreed. They're simple but malleable. Yeah, as I was kind of lamenting a little bit, the gimmick... I'm glad the judges also think the Goop Pools, the Devil Juice, is a little bit weak. The green bouncy is an excellent twist, but the yellow didn't add much substantial. Couldn't say it simpler myself, Mick. Besides a clever setup for gimmicks, Devil Factory's other big strength is theming. As I remember, every enemy here is some form of one-eyed. Oh yeah, which creates a wonderful sense of cohesion. Sadly, how these enemies are used isn't always perfect. Well, Yanbane, Pederkey, dude, I can't... beautifully with Yanbane and Pederkey making excellent invincible enemies, and Petite Devil actually getting to do its thing. I found Jump Roller dull without his fireballs. I mean, I think with the fireballs, the hitbox would have been a little bit too much. It got me a couple of times, so... And Watcher tended to be ineffective when it appeared. As far as the level itself goes, really solidly made. Yeah, challenging. No instant death. You end up backtracking several times, like in the room before the first green Petite Devil. It can get pretty tedious. Thankfully, clever weapon usage can get around that. Though it plays well even if you're backtracking a bunch. kinks to iron out. Devil Factory is an excellent piece of work. Agreed. Boss fight was great. So here's a prime example of this. Concept level alone, taking the usual yellow devil's segment, shifting, and making platforming segments is a wonderful idea. Agreed. It works out exactly with what you would expect, you know, yellow devil being partially solid to do. Like the devil goop floors. Subtly affect your positioning. I don't think it really works that much, but still. That for once, the same goes for Yanbanes. And you're faced against the wall of the devil segments. To me, these just felt like dodging typical yellow devil patterns. Well, yeah, it's a fair challenge too. You get to see where they're coming from. Like, I think that's a good thing. The boss does manage to be a bit more intimidating, but I still can't help feel like it was a quick way to sap some of your health before getting into the boss proper. I don't know. I mean, you get the checkpoint right after it too, so it makes perfect sense. Like, every obstacle you can argue is a way to sap health, so. Let's see. Very solid ending to a nice stage that put a new spin on some old ideas. Great work. Considering the amount of different devil types throughout the series, maybe more variations of the devil goo could have helped. Yeah, it could have, but then it also could have definitely led into, like, lack of focus territory. Still, I think that maybe if you had, like, the finale with maybe 3 colors of devil goo, that probably would have been a healthy balance of variety with having to memorize things and a gimmick mastery from the stage. As produced metal casted boomos. This is a quite creative stage indeed. I like the devil cubes moving back and forth. The gel where Mega Man sinks down is strange but cool. A little bit of Portal. Yeah, I was kind of thinking like the super bouncy gel from Portal. It was kind of there. Station get a bit overbearing with some of the later sections. And the conveyor switch hazardous. No, I think it made sense. Oops. Magnet beam pickup could have been put in an earlier portion of the level. Well, I don't know. I didn't feel the need to use magnet beam whatsoever in that level. Like, it's not a very platform heavy. I mean, ironically, for all the devil platforms going everywhere, it's not platforming like intense. It is reliant on platforming, but doesn't ever have like intense challenging platforming. It's overall pretty simple. It's just a matter of timing. So honestly no need for the magnet beam in the first place, but also no need to disable it. I don't know. It's a weird decision overall. Skimming through everything, but I feel like the numbers can be tweaked down a little bit. Yeah, I was starting to maybe get a little bit overwhelmed. How many patterns I can use? Yeah, I only got to see, 3 in earnest, and then they started breaking out the blue pattern, and I was like, well, there's only 5 of you left now. The last one becomes vulnerable. Just wish that they weren't fully immune to Tornado Blow or Magnetic Shockwave. Yeah, it would have been a little bit too easy at that point. And Thunder Beam, Elect Beam is on theme, so... Like a gray goo that hinders movement, and top it off with a rainbow goo that randomizes the properties. I feel like randomized properties would just get irritating. Like, there's a certain level of reliability you want to have in your controls, and didn't just to suddenly have to rely on, like, getting a high jump or not getting a high jump to dodge what you want would just, like, completely throw you off. But, like, yeah, I mean, a gray goo could kind of work. I mean, there's probably other colors of devil that we could use. Like, there is at least the, there's, like, purple from Mega Man's 9 and 10, so they could probably do that. Or if you want to do the purple, then it would kind of go along with like Mega Man 10's like Metools with the icy goo that they shoot at you. That would be on theme. Good music is integral to good Mega Man level. Battle and Chase is definitely good to go. Oh, it's from Battle and Chase. I didn't know that game had a great soundtrack. I'll have to listen to it. Fast-paced challenges, frantic and fun, one-eyed enemies. I'll just throw out the player in the first few screens and across the entire level, but it never feels overwhelming. Outstanding learning curve. The searchy introduction is the best I've seen. Oh yeah, and it gives you a free tank or free 1-up as well. Yellow blocks are a highlight, especially in the file corridor and anywhere the blocks are used as platforms. Background graphics, almost always. He found one spot where it doesn't happen. Glitch hunters and speedrunners may try to shunt themselves through the ceiling when the blocks solidify. They will not be disappointed. Nice. Dig the spongy ground. Might have like a different texture for the bouncy kind though. Remember, color blindness. Yeah, I guess if maybe you had like up arrows pointing out of it instead of looking like Lego pieces. Which, ironically, for how it looks, it's not completely hard and going to destroy your feet when you step on it. It's going to actually sink under you. Ooh, Dark Moon Goo from Mega Man V. Yeah, Mega Man World 5. That would probably be a good return. Although, actually, no, wait, yeah, that game is in color. So yeah, it canonically is a gray goo. So yeah, no, that would totally work. Surprised the States never got a proper port of Battle and Chase until the PS2 GameCube X collection. Not sure there's any way to play it outside of emulators currently. I had no idea if they were, actually, wait, GameCube X collection. Yeah, that's why I never saw it. I mean, I just know of the game. I've never actually, say played it or hell, even watched it. Like, a lot of, racing games have never really been my thing. I never enjoyed Mario Kart. It was always just a giant pain in the ass. I played a lot of it on Mario Kart DS, and maybe that informs why I don't like Mario Kart, but I don't know. It's too... The whole party game mentality with the environment as competitive as racing directly, it's not my thing. Or to use it once it's unlocked. Yeah, exactly. The magnet beam is kind of pointless here. It's fun, but no Mario Kart Diddy Kong Racing. Yeah. Matters more the many successes, things like the Dynamic Swarm boss, which avoids the pitfalls of enemy spam and obvious weapon weaknesses. The level knows exactly what it wants. Wants to be. I'm impressed by how everything works together. Agreed. The level name, you're filled with dread about the prospect of fighting one of the dullest bosses in video game history. Okay, my rant time. I don't know why so many people hate on the devil bosses from the Mega Man series. With the exception of Mega Man 9's Twin Devil, I think all of them are fair fights that last a, okay amount of time, and they really test, your ability to just, remember the pattern and go through it. They're not easy patterns to execute. Yeah, they maybe get tiring on repeat playthroughs and how long it can take sometimes, but I don't think that's necessarily a drawback. That's meant to be part of the challenge. I know Roa Mithril and others have especially complained about the tedium being the worst part of those fights. But I don't know. I think that's a legitimate part of the challenge, and it makes sense to me. I don't understand what's wrong with having to take a long fight against the devil bosses. It's one thing that forces you to slow down and play defensively. I think that's fine to have in a game. Mega Man 9's takes it way too fucking far by only being able to hit it just once, barely, if your execution is great and you know exactly when it's coming out. That's maybe too much, and you have to do it, if you want to do Buster, 28 times. But, I mean, outside of that, all of the other devil bosses I think are actually fair and fun to fight. Well, maybe not fun, but fun to fight. I like fighting some of the devil bosses. So, I don't know. That's my rant. Besides Shadow Devil from X5 and Hard Mode Block Devil from Mega Man. Oh god, yeah, don't. Hard Mode Mega Man 10 is such a bitch to play. I don't know what they were thinking with that. I mean, something I do kind of need to revisit someday, but it is rough. And I remember Block Devil from Mega Man 10. It's fine on normal. It gets stupid on hard difficulty. Yeah, agreed. And Shadow Devil from X5. I don't know. I was having an okay time with Shadow Devil when I played the game. It took a while, but the most difficult part was just the RNG of it, where it's okay, well, which pattern's actually going to come out, and therefore which way should I dodge? Because if I dodge for the one and not the other, then I'm gonna get hit. It's annoying, but it could have been tweaked a little bit. Anyways, back to Ace Spark. Don't judge a book by its cover. The elements of stage hazard, you managed to breathe life into such a maligned enemy type. Agreed. Very natural way to use a blocky enemy. The walls are a very nice touch. You only encounter the pattern once. Losing the repetitive nature of the OG... Oh, yeah, right. You only have to dodge the pattern once instead of several times over. The gooey floor was interesting in concept, but doesn't quite work here. Enemies are suddenly much harder to deal with. There weren't so many to deal with. Yeah, it got to be a little bit much. Agreed. Green goo doesn't allow very jump height. Yeah. It resulted in a couple of frustrating rooms, difficulty spikes. I wouldn't quite say that. I like how the ice wall was required for freezing the token. Or for the token. However, backtracking to the start of the previous room was not fun after completing it once, only to spot a secret at the end. Hold on, what? I liked how the ice wall was required for the token, and freezing the goo was a nice touch. Okay, however, backtracking to the start of the previous room was not fun after completing it once. Only to spot a secret at the end. It wasn't all the way to the beginning of that room, was it? I don't remember that. Just like a little bit backwards to go up the ladder, like. Graphics were mediocre and under-detailed. What the hell are you expecting, A-Spark? Like, those graphics look, like, great. I mean, yeah, the goop looked a little bit but... I don't know. Too much contrast with pure black? No, I think that worked. It was fine. There were plenty of other background tiles. Stage feel a little lifeless. Boss is the highlight of the level. It manages to both impress and maintain interest without being overly difficult. Taking notes from me, and make a devil almost entirely vulnerable throughout. The boss has a lot of different attacks. Enough of a tell. Agreed. Oops, second phase. Where'd it go? I lost my place. The second phase does not feel tacked on, but an interesting way to finish off the last two devils. Agreed. Amazing stage. A shame that it got hit with such a big late penalty. 9 generations of Sybil's journey to taste collective. We sample so much, we're just fit to burst. In fact, we often do. Yeah, I remember you do, certainly in that one stage. Oh hey, I can go down the escalator. Fun. This is every child's dream, to be able to go and run down the escalator in the opposite way. And I just got to live that dream. His damage output's also absurd. Run with unarmored X. 80% of your health. Oh. Yeah. Ugh. That sounds awful. I don't want to ever do that. Most of the room can't be used to dodge in because it leaves that damn green vector hologram of hip. Yeah. No, it was... It was a stupid boss fight, don't get me wrong. But, I don't know, it didn't make me pull my hair out. In comparison to some other things. Rockbound facility. Oh, this got some... polarizing comment. It's got some low scores from the two judges who I typically like their, agree with a lot. Okay, well, let's go. Rockbound facility. Okay, anything over here? Under 300. This is your commander speaking. We have reports that a hostile robot has taken control of the facility. Please investigate ASAP. Alright. Well, you're an interesting little creature. What do you do? Slowly fire your fists at me and then move. Okay. Oh, very quiet music for this stage. Let me turn that up. Some people about the original Yellow Devil is what Shadow Devil actually is ×3. Yeah, completely agreed. Original Yellow Devil maybe just has issues with being invulnerable for a little bit too long, I would say, but it's nowhere near compared to problems that Shadow Devil actually brings up. Otherwise, everything is totally manageable about Yellow Devil Mark 1. Even without any pause tricks or anything like that. Let's see. What else did I get up to recently? No, I'm still thinking of things. Yeah, no, I'm mostly just thinking about what can I complain about from my weekend, because my weekend was just kind of a stupid carnival of errors until I started video editing, which actually no, it still didn't quite end there. Like, the Carnival of Errors started with on Friday, I had taken the day off so I could go to the DMV and get my license renewed. And, like, already we're off to a negative start considering how, you know, most people's feelings towards the DMV are. For me, it's not that bad, but it was still kind of like okay, I wanted to get there early, but for some reason, my body decided it was time to wake up after, like, 4 hours of sleep, and I had to, like, use the bathroom and everything, and, like, then I was like, well, okay, now I'm hungry, and I basically kind of woke up after a little while. It's like, okay, I could go now early to the DMV, but then that would mean that I am operating on, like, no sleep, and that just won't do. So it's like, I then decide to try to get some more sleep, but I have trouble sleeping, so, like, I didn't sleep well, but I did sleep for a couple of, like, several hours, so then I was, like, later to the DMV than I wanted to. I was basically getting there only, like, an hour before closing time, and I'm just sitting there thinking on the bus, like, they're gonna close by the time they're done processing me, huh? Thankfully they didn't, but it was still just a very weird way to get the day going. Then I had on the agenda, okay, get a haircut today. And so I try to go to the, you know, a local generic chain, haircuttery, barbershop, that's the actual word for it. And, like, apparently they were having special hours because the university that I work at was kind of having move-in around that time. And, it was just like, well, they were closed, and because I got off my weird late start that day, I didn't, you know, get to do it, which is like, okay, fine, you know, I understand we all have off days, so it's not that big a deal. I'll just come back tomorrow, right? They're open tomorrow. So I go there, and then, like, so I do that. I put it off till tomorrow, and I do an online check-in to make sure I have a time reserved. I had to check in, like, a couple hours in advance because they were pretty booked up. But it's like, okay, you know, I'm heading there. I'm going to be there at the right time and everything. And I get there just a little bit early. And I'm like, hey, I checked in. And they're like, oh, your name this? I'm like, yep, that's great. And they're like, hey, yeah, so we still got quite a line here. It'll be like an hour before we can get to you. And I'm like, I simply do not have time to wait at my local chain barbershop for over an hour to just have my hair cut. Like, it's not that bad. I will come back another day. And so those are, like, the adult responsibilities that just failed so utterly that weekend. It just gets me where it's just like, how did I manage to get off on such a wrong foot from the very beginning? Orthopedic pills, divots for your neck, helps my experience. The bottle pill helps too. I do have God, what was it called? So it's like that brand, the Pillow Cube or whatever. I don't have, like, the full cube. I have the one that has, like, a divot for my neck, and it helped a little bit because I've had some old ass pillows for several years, but I replaced it and, like, it's, you know, totally fine now. It certainly helped at first, though I think now the odd part is, like, my neck has kind of gotten used to it, and it's maybe, like, not deep enough now, so it's getting in the way there. But I mean, I've generally just always had sleep issues. It's something that definitely runs on my mom's side of the family, where it's just like, I don't know, it started off as a kid, yeah, I could sleep super easily, just like my dad, no worries, nothing, but then it just started slowly escalating more into, like, just, oh, I don't know, now there's a little bit of light, and I can't sleep with that going on, or, oh, there's a little bit of noise, I can't sleep with that going on either, or, and it's like, now I need to buy a big fan, so that way I can just generate noise to not wake up in the middle of the night from anything else, or, like, what else then happens? Screen time maybe starts to affect me, so I need to, like, take a little bit of time before bed to, like, not be looking at a screen to effectively go to sleep, or now I do need to, like, sleep with a secondary pillow, like, as a body pillow kind of thing. Like, I don't know. Sleep just keeps getting worse for me as I age, and that's not a good sign considering that you're already supposed to sleep less as you get older, so, like, I'm just speed running the sleep aging process at this point. Oh yeah, and then I have the major problem of I just cannot shut my brain off. If you've ever met one of those people who just complains about how it's like, my brain is always going, it always feels like it's buzzing and thinking of something. That's me. I can't stop myself from getting caught up on some kind of idea and just constantly going on it. Like, if I just get something too fascinating right before I go to bed, like, it's not leaving me, and there's gonna be no sleep that night. I went through at the DMV, sounds like the hell I went through years back with college admissions. Being as bad as it was, ended up to how I submitted a level for MaGMML3. Oh, okay, I misread that situation. Wait, so, hold on, elaborate. With, like, college admissions, did you end up, like, waking up too late for a lot of things then? Or is it just that, like, it was... I don't know. Is there some subtext I'm missing a little bit there? Because I know for me, my pain in the ass with college admissions was always just working up the willpower to bullshit some, 500-word essay about why I think college is so great and why I want to give them my money. It's just like, okay, like, come on. It is college good, but, like, I don't need to keep going on and on about it this much. Solid platforming challenge there. We're making decent use of the rocks here with actually having to combat some of the enemies. Nice timing challenges, but I would say that I am kind of just autopiloting this level, and it's not really punishing me for that. And the shield attack is just time wasting. Not kidding, I took a semester break because they sent me about 5 different offices that couldn't resolve any issues. I had a mental breakdown in one of the bathrooms. Wow, that's sorry to hear that. Obviously, it's long since passed, so, tragedy plus time equals comedy and all that. We can all have a good laugh now, but that does sound pretty awful. Because, yeah, I do know that the university's admissions offices and such can be pretty damn useless at times. I'm glad I never really had to interact with, like, my advisors or, like, anything like that too much in my time in undergrad. That would have just put me completely off of the whole thing. Now, granted, I did have several, like, 6 hours of sleep night, or 5 to 6 hours of sleep nights every night for, like, several weeks in a row because I was a chemistry student. And also decided, hey, I'm going to take the math for math majors courses because I got invited, and I still like math, right? And then linear algebra absolutely kicked my ass and ruined my life forever. So, made sure not to make that mistake ever again. In a roundabout way, Funbag was very nearly the culmination of having to deal with college bureaucracy. One could argue that the stage is an allegory for college bureaucracy. I'm not going to make that argument, but I'm going to put it out there, so that way somebody can come up with an overly complicated way of construing things. Do the shit that I absolutely hate most about language arts classes and somehow turn everything into symbolism. Yes, you see, the use of the colorblind sheepman blocks indicates how necessary it was to put additional indicators that I wish that I had during the college admissions process. Like, that would be like, okay, okay, English major, go work in HR now. Don't know what major you are. Hope that lands. Oh, okay. The stage suddenly started making me use my brain to actually platform. I wasn't expecting that. Stage keeps going, and you just want it to end. Seems like a good allegory. Ball represents my mental breakdown. It's completely invincible, and only the passage of time will take care of it. Just like college, and the insane institution that it is. Oh yeah, I have special weapons. I think I can just have fun with this area and use the water shield. Okay, you're immune. Maybe not entirely immune. Alright. There it is. I was looking at my stats while preparing for stream today, and apparently Water Shield is my least used weapon, and Laser Trident is my most used weapon. Surprising no one. That's exactly how the stats honestly sounded like it should have spread anyways, so... I do want to try to use Water Shield some more. I'm just still surprised at myself for not using it all that much, considering that, like, it's my second favorite shield in the whole series, so... I need to try it a little bit. Hey Uranus, I wonder what you're weak to. Somehow one of the both most convenient weaknesses to use and least convenient weaknesses to use at the same time. It's actually a very good example. I think that Uranus is a very good example of how to have a boss weakness be balanced, where it's like there's a perfect way to slot it in with timing, the damage is good, and you just gotta think a little bit about it. As of literally everybody who's played MaGMML3. Yeah, there's just you know, good old Laser Trident. Nothing beats that. Except maybe Magna Beam. Only souls, their wills combine to protect the ones they love. Wave Battle, right on! Still does not have the same staying power as Jack in Megaman.exe. You know, wait, what's the last thing you said? Oh no. Oh no, I'm ruining. I don't remember the Battle Network quote. Whatever. Brain no worky. It's fine. Find a tough exterior that is Presto's #1 fan, unusually dense for a plush toy. They filled him with several hundred calories worth of uranium. I got a lot of capsules in that stage, damn. Geary did not try to integrate plush gears into actual machinery. Sweet. Alright, well, I don't know. That stage was certainly competent. It did feel more like another kind of like, you know, how there was the Brightman remixed and Sparkman remixed and all those kind of, and Topman remix kind of things. This definitely felt just more along the lines of Uranus remix. And it did a good job at that. It was certainly used the gimmicks in a fun way, and very competently so. But I was able to pretty much autopilot my whole way through the stage, which really doesn't speak great to the difficulty balancing of it. And then, you know, just having a bog standard Uranus fight at the end there. Yeah, it's a little disappointing. Also, I do owe you an apology, Grimspecs. I thought you were genuinely messing with me last stream when you said that, no, like, bog standard really is the way. I looked it up afterwards because I just didn't believe you. And it is? How fucking long have I been saying? I've been saying this wrong my entire life and have never realized it. And the worst part is, other people in my life have also said it wrong their entire lives, or said it so, like, in such a slurred manner that I never picked up on it. Like, it blows my mind how I could have been so wrong on it being called bog standard and not box standard my entire life. So, yeah, sorry. Realize the Uranus stage is way later. It's a pretty good rompy level. Yeah, certainly, it's fun. It does the rompy aspects of it well, but it is, like, after, I don't know, just for me about midway through it clicked to me where it's like, oh yeah, it's using the Pharaoh boss or whatever twice. It's also using the Uranus rotating blocks. It's also got the same falling platform things like from the Game Boy games. Yeah, total Uranus level. Unlike the other remake levels, it doesn't just flat out say Uranus Remake as the title, so it maybe fools you into a false sense of security a little bit. But like, yeah, at midway through, I'm like, oh wait, hold on, yeah, I've sort of seen this before. But I mean, overall, it's just fun to play. I would not be upset at playing this. This is a standard good Mega Man level. It feels official, but it is also definitely, you know, not gonna knock my socks off here. You generally the best cast, like, yeah, I don't know. I thought that was the dynamic we established here, but yeah, no, I just could not believe that it is bog standard. I still can't believe it. It's still so dumb, but I don't know. Goddamn the English, they ruined the English language, you know? Like, shit. Uranus graphics, Uranus music, Uranus platforms, Hondu, T Common, and Uranus himself. Yeah, and attempt to remix Uranus' stage. A bit different than the norm. Yeah, well, thank you for giving me that hilarity moment in my real life, and teaching me something, too. We can all laugh about it now. I will forever remember this as something that I say in the future. Like, 4 years down the line, I'll still be telling chat, like, hey, so did y'all know it's bog standard? And everyone can laugh at me again when they all say, yeah? Let's see here. Make that a highlight. I might, across the two videos. It's a good idea. Let's see. Instead of the rocket heads and moving platforms, we get stone blocks and shield attackers. Press space met carry. With Adamski's, an honorable mention. Highlight of the stage is shield attacker. Really? It kind of just bogged things down for me. Bogged. I'm used to this enemy being fairly cut and paste. However, in this level is good shield attackers, tandem with the gimmicks. Okay, yeah, you'd have to do a little bit of timing with the falling platforms. Spaceman is surprisingly... Oh, yeah, definitely. Throwing the Spaceman at you over... Excuse me. Yes, one block solid, one block platforms that are falling over a pit. Yeah, that'll make the Space Mets challenging. Let's see here. Second T common battle was something he desperately needed. That's annoying, I guess so. Makes his regular version harder than his second version, which is a bit off of the difficulty curve. Yeah, agreed. I just had to jump and that's it. What assets I didn't mention are, as a whole, inoffensive. The level's design is solid, with good intros, fun challenges, build into a decent climax. Unfortunately, the remix aspect can be a little more boring. It doesn't fix the excessive length issues. It was a little bit of a long stage, but maybe not too much so. At the very least, it wasn't so difficult that it felt like it was, like, long. It was, you know... Rompiness is a good way to cut length a little bit without actually cutting down on length. I feel incredibly boring. Mega Man stage has a fairly vibrant palette. I mean, the background of stars is a little bit boring, but we didn't see it all that often. I don't know. Hardly great. Middle of the road, average level. It's agreeable. Let's see. Platforming is in that middling zone. There's nothing outstanding about it, but nothing wrong with it either. Versus the enemy selection, yeah, shield attackers and handos make the section a chore to get through. And granted, maybe shield attackers weak to laser trident, but Hondo certainly wasn't, so... I don't know, at least you have to actually interact with their invincibility a little bit. When a shield of enemies gets toned down after the first mini-boss. Picks up again. Not around this point, the second mini-boss showed up. Yeah, I mean, I could have been done with the level 2 by then, but it didn't really, make me unhappy with the game, or the level, so... let's see, it makes for a stage where I honestly couldn't recall many parts of it that were actually engaging. Yeah, I mean, it's a very, like I said, autopiloted the whole stage. Nothing about that I remember, so... outside of it being competent. Rock solid level, let's see. Difficulty good. Tokens nice. I mean, some decently used setups where you have to actually cover the spikes. It got me once, misinterpreting the challenge, but I mean, after that, it's pretty straightforward. First encounter with the mini-boss, the slaying platforms gaps in between a lot harder than the second encounter. Yeah. As everyone else noted, second T-Common not so interesting. Uranus is the boss of the stage. It's fitting, but it's also not the most interesting fight. Could have done something had to be added to make Uranus a little bit more interesting, in my opinion. Granted, it is a hard room to work with, I guess. Then again, I guess that entirely depends on if the ceiling crush attack actually kills enemies as well, or if it just, hurts them. Messing around with the mod support, the new Doom port, it's good stuff. Hoping they add Mega Man 8-bit Deathmatch eventually, but it'll probably need some tweaking to work with the new engine. I mean, yeah, that would be cool. I would, it's been so long since I've played 8-bit deathmatch, but like, I mean, you know, I wouldn't be opposed to revisiting that at some point. It was interesting enough just to me, again, you know, the boomer shooter quirks got a little bit finicky for me. And then plus two, you get the problem of like, 8-bit deathmatch is such a niche game that only the people who are like really good and sweaty at it are probably still playing it. I mean, unless there's something that I've completely missed along the lines of that still being popular, I can tell if I join like an actual public lobby, I would get just trashed. I could play the single player, but I also always found the AI to either be, you know, on that level of this is either really easy to exploit or they are so goddamn good, how do I play this game? But, I mean, I've heard the new Doom ports are actually pretty solid, so, you know, that's always good to know. There's always been... Every new Doom port brings little nitpicks to, you know, think about. Several levels in this contest have rock or facility in the title, so it's perhaps unsurprising. I don't immediately recall any details when I went to replay it for the review. How much level I couldn't remember after I got back into it. Yeah, very true. Long load times, fixed in post. Delectably moody music almost works better with that bit of anticipation. Visuals are clean and appealing. Peg this as a riff on my MaGMML3 level long before it registers a remix of Uranus. Yeah, it did kind of... For some reason, I did also get that same feeling of teleporting in, here's a text box, is this going to be a parody of Flashman's MaGMML3 level? But apparently, nope, completely not. Dead kit assets in a space and rock level. Let's see. Felt awfully familiar. Yep. Difficulty unremarkable. Token pads are interesting. Yeah. New bosses follow the standard fight, then harder fight format that I so enjoy. Oh, you're the only one who actually thought that the second mini-boss is actually harder. Interesting. Wow factor isn't entirely there, but I like the overall design. Layout is intuitive, and replacement is thoughtful. Hando getting some love. Yeah, I mean, that's... I mean, of all... I'll make the prediction. That might be the only time Hando appears in this entire, all these levels, because I can't see that enemy getting very much use. Feels fair and deliberate. Main suggestions to condense the screen count a little. Check all falling block puzzles for some logistical problems. Ditch the text box at the start. Yeah, I don't need more of an excuse of, like, commander. Like, no need. Oh my god, I didn't even see this 37. Holy hell. Ace Spark, come on now. It's not that bad. Stage remakes of an uphill battle. The original, but worse. What? Weird and wacky enemies of 5 game were replaced with our basically stock assets. Anything as wacky as a sea lion doing ball tricks and birds somehow flying in the depths of space named after a word for vomit. And you can have mine carts in a mine, space mets in space. Yeah, but like, come on, you're trying to go with theming. If you use the wackiness of 5 for the Game Boy, then like, you're gonna get docked points like, why are you using this in this level? It doesn't make any sense with Uranus. This was your chance to reinvent things. Why are you going... It's like, come on, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, toss that shit out the window. Let's see. How about basic the enemies are either... are really nice and not at all cute. Okay, come on though. They're like supposed to be a challenge. At any chance at all, the stage needed to rather explore it. Going to be obvious. Oh, boo-hoo. You're gonna barely use that asset. It's very, very slow to deal with enemy. Yeah, it does slow things down. I'll agree that, but Because of the star droids, simply due to the sheer length and lack of variety. I mean, I don't really remember it from Mega Man 5 that much, so. Segments that would be copy-pasted from the original except for the screen resolution. The mini-boss is just more awkward to deal with here. Ancient Tomb stage from MaGMML3, but I guess this isn't completely copy-paste job, so yeah, whatever. I don't know if it's something you found on the internet or on your own. I feel like using a Wily Wars style background alongside the NES style enemies means the entire thing feels disjointed and off-putting. I didn't notice it at all, so that's a you nitpick, A Spark. Effectively flat, lacking parallax and tileset variety, makes it dull to look at. It's probably the first effort or close to one, so maybe I'm being too harsh. Yeah, definitely too harsh. A little bit over the top. Let's see. Just finished Evolution and started working on my way through Plutonia before I try out the new episode. Plus, I got a ton of other fun mods to try out. Yeah, like I've mentioned, I do need to get into Doom, try Doom out myself. It's, you know, the grandfather of, many popular shooting games, so it's something I owe giving it a shot. And the Magnificent Gourmet, the Golden Chef, please, I invite you to eat my hat. Yeah, sure, I'll eat anything at this point. You tell me that it's edible, and I'll believe you. I'm in the food court. You enjoy this freshly baked raspberry beret. Don't have room for it? Okay, fine, it's an E-tank, whatever. But yours didn't start with E. I would have been confused. Next one is the next level is the one that gave that commenter I mentioned PTSD. I think this is the last level that could genuinely be described as frustrating in any capacity. Alright, well, it's good to be able to finally rip that bandage off, but, yeah, Wolfenstein 3D would be a little bit older, but, yeah, Doom held up as well, and is somehow still a slightly bigger cultural icon. I mean, Wolfenstein 3D, I think for a while definitely held that space, but I don't know, Doom has stood up to the test of time. Probably in no small part due to the fact that the modern Doom games are, from what I hear, still excellent, while Wolfenstein fell off a little bit after the New Order, and yeah, and also fell off in the middle with, like, you know, stuff like Old Blood. So yeah. So let's see. What if I'm on a diet? You can eat all you want if you're on the Hatkins diet. I get it, but that diet doesn't actually work. Then again, everyone around here prefers the Rockman Dash diet. I don't get that one. I mean, outside of maybe just going fast. Anyone else is cooking impressed me, I would eat my hat. Hats are delicious if prepared properly, of course, but when no one took up my challenge, I offered a cash prize. My mouth is, but I did recently part with a large sum for hat-related reasons. By selling chapeau-shaped pastries to the common folk. Wear it, tear it, share it. Oh, that's actually really fun. I could see that being a theme restaurant, especially in, like, Japan or something. Hey, Sonic Man. I've seen you so many times in this contest. I'm glad I haven't seen you in a bit. Price this meal is outrageous. I've run drive-thru and I've never heard of personalized convenience fee. Yeah, a little bit much. You didn't want to pay at the counter, so they had to build me to deliver the check to you personally. They had to build you for this? Could they just have somebody run to you? Like, these people behind me need to stop. I can't enjoy my pepper shaker like this. Oh, so you're just eating inorganic matter at this point, Blocky, huh? You've really sunk low. I'm sorry to hear that. Youngblood specifically put Wolfenstein on indefinite hiatus for the near future. New Colossus is also an infuriating spirit for me. Really, I really enjoyed the New Colossus. It was a really fun game. I mean, granted, that was also my first experience into the Wolfenstein thing, but like, you know, having a complete reinvented Blazkowicz and like the story there, and I don't know, I thought the gameplay was extremely fun. I also managed to do like, you know, like, I don't think I quite did like the permadeath Mein Leben difficulty, but I did do it on Uber, and that was not a fun experience, but I thought overall the game was still really cool. I don't have time to be social. I'm up to my nectar and work. I get it. Yeah, Sonic Man, the fast food tier. It's a good one. Oh, and Euros. Good puns. Good puns all around. Now I guess we just need... Well, King Man should have been here, too, you know, or the Burger King. Like, come on. If I don't see a King Man poster in the back... Oh, wait, no, they already used that joke. There's King from Mega Man and Bass in the background at the very beginning. Damn it. They're one step ahead of me. This isn't fair. Thermal Tundra. Alright, sounds like an Ice and Fire level. Could be good. Oh, wait, right. We just went over how levels got infuriating. Lots of them are tied to the temperature gimmick, which can be cumbersome. All that freezing and reheating, boiling and cooling. Skippable due to its difficulty. Awkward gimmick only exacerbates the difficulty. Get frostbite and third-degree burns at the same time, but I do now. Well, I mean, clearly, the devs must have thought they could. They did play Mega Man Dongs at some point. And I do remember Frostburn Man pretty vividly. Okay, so just standard ice that looks weird. Alright. Like New Order and Old Blood Battle, New Colossus just killed my move after the Dream Sequence courtroom level to guard for no payoff. Oh, right. No, I'm getting them backwards. Yeah. No, New Order was, I enjoyed that a lot more. New Colossus, or, I mean, I still didn't think it was bad, but, like, it definitely... Okay, so there's something weird here. Okay, gotcha. That's how this works. I have to actually manage that temperature. Alright, interesting. Good way to introduce it. Yeah, New Colossus got to be... It definitely just started taking way too long at a certain point, to, like, kind of wrap up, and, like, they just also constantly had more and more and more, like, side quest stuff to do, which, I don't know, it was interesting at first, but boring eventually. And not to mention the fact that just, like, what else did I really not like about that game? It was just kind of like... Yeah, the difficulty was so high that you started to feel like stealth was mandatory, which is not good when the stealth is, like, worse than it was in the previous game. Like, the mechanics are a lot trickier to work with, and... Yeah, no. New Colossus. There were... Okay, that's funny. There was definitely some issues, but, I mean, overall, it wasn't terrible. I almost 100%ed the game, but then I got kind of bored and sidetracked, and, you know, life happens. You're such a cool VTuber. Thank you, I appreciate that compliment, especially with, you know, just the PNG model over here. You know, I really do hope to kind of upgrade at some point. I do have a, something... What am I trying to say? I have an idea for, like, a Vroid model that I want to work on, and I have worked on. The only issue with that being that video editing takes up a significant chunk of time, so I realistically haven't worked on it for, like, 4 months? Or maybe not that long, but several months, certainly. But I appreciate that compliment quite a bit. It helps me, you know, keep this little operation going. Let's see. I have to be forced to play on the baby mode just to make progress. Your game is too hard. Oh, that's the telly gimmick. Interesting. Yeah, there's definitely difficulty issues with New Colossus at that point. It wasn't quite that punishing to me, but it was... Okay, you're a screen wipe enemy. That's different. I've never seen an enemy actually go bother to do that. Usually that's reserved for bosses. Okay, I make Telly come after me. Yeah, it never quite got that insane for me, but it was definitely markedly harder than the first game, and to its detriment. Speaking of markedly harder, this is... I don't know how you expect me to just get a telly to stop on a dime. I'm willing to entertain it just so that way I can get the authentic, oh my god, what is this level experience? But, like, as a pretty precise ask, to also not... is a precise ask in the realms of, I don't have the patience to just inch this all the way over. That's kind of... That's stupid. I appreciate the attempt at that, but... fundamentally, that feels kind of awkward. Okay, if I want to come back for an E-tank, I can, but I'm full on that, so... Oh, okay, and that turns into explosive gas. That's cool use of, it's a cool combination. Is there anything for heat on this state, or on this screen? I haven't noticed. Okay, there is this. I completely bypassed this. Does this hurt me if I go all the way up? Yeah, it does. Okay, I remember kind of seeing that on Ilvo's highlights at some point. It was a little bit too long ago for me to quite remember that. Let's see. What's unfortunate is both Return to Castle Wolfenstein and 2009 are stuck in copyright hell, despite both of those being really good. Oh, damn. That always happens to all the best things. Somehow they're always stuck in copyright hell, and you can't ever play them, you know. You can't ever reasonably play them again. Like, God, what I would give to have Mother 3 in an official translation and a easy-to-purchase cart for me to gift to people without them asking. Be like, hey, I heard that you can play Game Boy games. Here's Mother 3. You must play it now. But unfortunately, I can't force that upon people, which, darn. Okay, I didn't think I was still warm enough to melt the ice. Okay, I mean, so far, I wouldn't exactly call this stage infuriating, but I would say that the gimmick is maybe a little bit half-baked. There's some aspects of it that really just don't quite work. Like, this is extremely tedious to try and do. Like, how am I supposed to, like, at least make it so I can jump easily back here? Now I'm stuck. If I... Oh, interesting. It looks like it unfreezes the moment that I pause. Yeah, at least give me, like, another platform to work with there, so I'm not stuck behind that thing. Okay, I'm really bad at timing this out. Okay. Alright. Oh, damn it. We didn't do it. I stopped for half a second. Alright, come on. Hey, come on. No, don't fumble. There we go. Okay, just barely. Alright. Certainly an interesting gimmick and concept. This is weird in execution. Maybe, yeah, I could see what's up about the difficulty. Like, pits and spikes galore if you don't just precisely jump where you need to be. But there's more? I have to come back here with even more heat? How? There's not... Okay, I have to speedrun the screen? I'm getting really sick of getting hit by this guy. Like, it is not even that difficult to avoid him, yet I just can't stop myself from getting hit. Come on. There we go. Okay, wasn't actually that bad. Okay. Smoke. Okay, when there's not actually that many pits on the screen, those things don't present much of a challenge. Let's say, copyright hell is why Capcom won't ever re-release Cadillacs and dinosaurs for modern platforms, which sucks was one of Capcom's best beat-em-ups. Soundtrack's amazing, too. That is always a shame to have a beat-em-up game locked up like that. I really love beat-em-up games. Like, trying to think, like, I remember as a child, I had, there was just a restaurant we would go to occasionally that was, it had one of those, like, that Simpsons beat-em-up game arcade cabinet. That thing was so fun to waste quarters on, even if it was just completely unfair to actually do. But then, you know, an actually fair beat-em-up is even better. Like, okay, there's not enough space to actually recharge here. I'm getting just constantly battered by enemies. I'm trying to think, what's the game? Rampage Nights on Steam? That game is excellent. Bastard telly placements. Absolute bastard telly. Holy shit, that is so rude that it freezes right over the spot. I got it. I give the level designer props for thinking of that, but damn. That is so mean. Speaking of mean, I don't really have a place to cool down here. Come on. I gotta be able to cool down a little bit more here. Okay. And versus Predators with similar situations except in Europe. Yeah. Good to know. Oh yeah, no, I was thinking of Rampage Knights. Excellent beat 'em up game on Steam. I would definitely give that a try. It has a good balance of kind of, you know, roguelite elements along with it. Oh, I'm... Okay, you can't do this to me. Like, I don't know... Oh my god. I can't be sitting here waiting for the Steam gimmick when I don't know exactly where I need to jump. And then also make that jump my temperature meter up. Poorly thought out challenge. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2. Damn it. Shouldn't have even bothered trying. Ainstorm by Sega is another good, if bit of jank feeling. Well, I appreciate the recommendations. Might have to go back and... There's so many cool retro games I'm learning about just by playing MaGMML3. As I don't know how many of them I'm actually going to get to, but certainly will try. I know that I'm at least... Oh, right, there's the speed element to this screen. Can't get a break. I know that at the very least I'm going to have to try to play Copy Kitty, and, Okay, you can't... Okay, I keep getting distracted because, yeah, this level's difficulty is kind of stupid. Like, I'm trying to take a second to recover, but all I'm doing is actually just getting, you know, assaulted by explosions or spikes or something else dumb like that. Like, come on now. The fact that I have to use an E-tank to get through this segment, like, it's stupid. Ridiculous. What? Huh? Didn't there used to be a block here? What the hell happens? Visual noise, yeah. It's very distracting. I can't get through the whatever idea of a sentence I'm trying to say here. Oh, but yeah, definitely games to try from MaGMML3 will be Magical Girl Dorothy and Copy Kitty. Those are definitely on the list for Mega Man likes. Okay, now take a second to cool off here. I feel like the snowdrop should maybe be a little bit more rapid as well. Like, it's taking a long time to actually be able to cool down from them. That, or at the very least, they need to be like a full heat bar recovery. Clips. No, see, that's the weird part. This floor was here last time, and it wasn't there that time. I somehow deleted a floor tile. I don't understand how that works. I mean, I guess like anything else, you could probably scroll it off, but like, that's wild. Okay, well, now the snow is kind of off time. Oh, okay. Okay, well, now that token's out of the way. What would have been a finer challenge if I had a place to actually stop and think for a second. I'm guessing if I don't get the snow there, I'm gonna get punished on this screen. Oop, well, okay. Guess I'm not getting those power-ups. Okay, kind of like a spike drop, but not really. Fiery devil. That's funny. There's a very good look to it. Okay, this thing is... That thing is really getting in the way. Not a fan. Deeks Cat on NES, really good considering I don't think most of the NES library holds up. I think I've seen a little bit of that game. It looked alright to me. I think I saw a game review of it like several years ago. I would have to, I'd really have to re-review that before I decide to play it. Okay, I'm not a big fan of this blob thing. It is very good at getting in the way. Like, it is tracking my movements very well. I'm not messing around with this thing. Just E-tank me. Shouldn't you be back in ZX? Yeah, that was the thought I almost half got out of my brain. That's what it reminded me of, that weird little eye thing. Although way more annoying, because I can't just 1-2 punch it or, you know, doya it to death. Okay. Kind of an odd lull in difficulty now. Now for some reason the game is actually giving me a safe spot to cool off in, albeit slowly. Whereas I was just getting used to the fact that I'm going to have to fight for my life with every snowdrop I can get. Okay. Are they going to introduce at some point, or maybe I need to keep a oh, okay. Coldness meter. Yep. Makes sense. And I'm guessing there was a warm spot over here. Yeah, okay. It's technically the last devil in the series that appears canonically truly a dying breed. Huh. I didn't even know it was canonically a devil enemy, but I mean, I guess, you know, your use of the name speaks enough volumes, right? Or is proof enough of that. I completely misjudged the timing on the Steam clocks. Yeah, no, it's a shame. Capcom listened to all the people complaining about the devil fights and didn't want to include them anymore. Okay. So we can make this a little easier on ourselves. Do this. Cool down. Oh, I can also just go fully magma here. I can totally just, I can just walk or destroy these. And give myself a checkpoint. Well, hold on. Is there a good reason to? I think there is, right? Anyway, Mickey, it's the devil. That's true enough. It's just one of the only devils that doesn't, you know, throw small bits of itself at you and reassemble. Instead, it just kind of, I don't know. I guess it does. It throws like the head at you. So it's like, all right, you're part of the estranged devil family. I guess you count. Okay, hell with this. This is... Wait a minute, I could have just been doing it up here. That makes way more sense. There we go. Okay. Use my brain. I understand. Okay, now I can stand here. Alright. The gimmick, the usage of the temperature gimmick is certainly getting more creative. It's, not much less of a pain in the ass, but it's getting more creative. Okay, so hold on. What's the deal there? So I need to be able to bust that open. So I would need to be warm to melt the ice on top and get down there. I would have had to not freeze it in the first place, actually. Right? Yeah. Okay, because, yeah, it's completely a lost cause now to do that. Okay, we'll retry. Okay, I get what they're asking for me now. It would have been nice to be able to actually observe what the challenge was beforehand, but I guess we take what we can get with this level. Okay, so I'll go back to a normal temperature. Why does that keep getting me? I don't know why that enemy keeps getting me with its, just simple head of fire. It's not that unusual of attack. Oh well. No point dwelling on it. Okay, so now... freeze just some of these. See, this will give someone a headache. Yeah. A little bit much to actually have to bother to do. And that is a very tight spot to have to squeeze back into. Oh wait, no, I can't be going there while hot. I have to be there at a neutral temperature. And then hope that... Alright, well, whatever, who cares? I'll die to get it. I get what was the idea was, but the fact that you have like 2 timers you're working against there makes it an ill thought out token challenge. You know what was some other dumb shit I ran into this weekend? Was also just how long it took to wrestle with DaVinci Studio to like actually get the Aetherman video out, because I was waiting very long for it to like get a render cache going, because like surprisingly it is very intensive to actually have to have like that effect where all the different screens are moving across the main one, and like that alone was like 30 gigabytes of cached data. Each time I made a small change to something early on in the timeline, like I had to wait like, God, how long did I have to wait for? Like probably a solid 30 minutes or more for the full thing to cache. Stupid. I can't imagine what it's like for people making much larger videos. I could see why I edited it. I mean, oh. Fair enough. That got me. I could see why editing takes people so damn long. It already takes long just to make one decent edited product, but then like if somebody wants to make like a full 50-minute video or something, like just forget it. You can't be doing anything special or super dynamic with your jokes. You're gonna be there for one eternity if you do. Yeah, some of these tokens are kind of crazy. Like, the one that still sticks out in my mind is the one in House of Fun with the, where it's like you kind of need to freeze one of the magma beams coming out, so that way you can swing your way up there. I got that token, but it was still ridiculous to actually have to go for. Alright, come on, warm me up. Oh, I'm so glad that there was a block here. I didn't even think about that part. Okay, so I need to kill this guy first. These full screen flash enemies are a little bit too tanky for their own good. I think we would do nicely if they died in fewer hits. Like, it wouldn't substantially change like what you have to do to like manage them at all. But it would also make them just a hell of a lot less annoying to deal with. So I do need to freeze this. Move. Wait for the explosion. Go. Get hit by these guys, because I can't dodge them. I'm terrible at it. Oh, and it's still cold here. Okay, regular screen. Then editing saw my laptop was about to take off. Yeah, thankfully, I mean, my laptop is, you know, beefy enough to handle it, but it is still, like, you know, time-consuming. I probably won't be making... I definitely don't have an idea for something along the lines of the Aetherman saga to make anytime soon, so at the very least I don't have to worry about that. But if I ever do make something like that again, yeah, I know what I have in store for me now. You don't have to introduce this magma goop guy again. I really don't need to be dealing with the tiny little bastard. Also, not enough heat sources here. What the hell? Alright, this is getting infuriating as far as gimmick management goes. Now all my platforms are disappearing from me, but also I can't be too cold, but also I can't be too hot. No. I'm shocked that I managed to make it through that without having to chug an E-tank or burn a couple lives down the pit. That was dumb luck that I got through that. Hello, Thermo Burn Man, or whatever your name is. You, move really slowly. Okay, that I wouldn't imagine getting hurt by ice. It's stationary ice, but sure. 5 different things during that Magma Devil chase. There's too much visual clutter. Yeah, there really is. I just kind of dialed in, like, and was just kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna trust that wherever I land, there's gonna be a platform beneath me. Which is not a great idea, but it overall ended up working. And speaking of visual clutter, what's going on in this stage, or this level? This boss? I can't focus on words. The smokescreen effect is just too much. And now how am I supposed to cool myself off, exactly? How am I supposed to cool myself off, exactly? Oh my god, this is really dumb. Yeah, this feels very ill-conceived. Ugh, gross. Yeah, okay, so, not my favorite level. Deserving of the skip. Honestly, I would have taken the more mediocre levels before this over this one any day. Like, just... too much to work with my brain. Not quite as much as Mirror Woman, but still just way too much to be thinking of at once. Not my thing whatsoever. But, on the other hand, less infuriating than Worthless Man, so I'll give it that. You can only go up from here, very true. So let's see. Fire Ice level could be interesting. Definitely have seen it before, though. Manage your temperatures, the right level of hoppers is cold. A fine gimmick. Interesting how it works. Heat tellies made things interesting, very true. And then the level keeps going. Yeah, it sure does. Juggle 10 chainsaws while running, screaming on a unicycle, and trying to sing Quickman a cappella style. Biggest flaw. Building on your gimmick is a good thing to do, but don't get me wrong, there's a time to stop, and Thermal Tundra flew way past it. Oops. God damn it, I really need to get a new controller. Hell, I mean all the plastic, the soft plastic on the thumbstick for my 360 controller is wearing down. I really need to replace this thing. That or just start playing this with a GameCube controller. Let's see. Camu-Makin and Fire Met are excellent obstacles. Steam vents and heat tellies are excellent spin. Twist the gimmick well, with only a small new asset, the place completely changes. Agreed. Lava bubble's a bit irritating, yes. And then, yeah, after Lava Bubble, the stage really goes downhill. Hell, even a little bit before Lava Bubble, I feel it goes downhill. A bunch of cold-based gimmicks. It makes sense, but it is... yeah, too much. Sorry, tired. Standing around can hurt you. Yeah, not welcome. Auto scroll mid boss is just yeah. Too much going on the track. Boss isn't much better. Ten different attacks. Thankfully, I didn't see all of those, but it was still a lot. 3 different forms? Okay. Yeah, he dies quickly enough, he doesn't get all of them off, and then also, like, eventually the level is going to be the boss room is going to be too hot, too cold, you're not going to be able to build upon it, or you're not going to be able to cool off from it, it doesn't work. Not sure if this level would make my top 8 least favorites in the game, but it's definitely 10 on the irritation meter. I could see that. It was pretty frustrating. Oh yeah. Also, speaking of the irritation meter, so you remember how like I always complain about the Temple of Light and Dark, and how frustrating that last token was? It is still really frustrating and way too difficult. But like I watched Flashman's judge playthrough of the stage. I don't know what's wrong with my brain, but like, so you know that first screen where the spinning laser pops up and there's like a ladder that goes down into a fight against a giant version of one of those like shield gorilla enemies from Mega Man 9? I apparently just never tested that ladder. I apparently never went down it once. So I never realized that there still was a key at the midpoint there. The giant part of my frustration with that level was the fact that I never realized that I could just get a key from going down there. I kept restarting the level every time I died to get a key for that final token, to try that token challenge again. That very quickly added up to me being absolutely disgusted with that level. I just never checked that one area for the big shield enemy with the key, because I thought I swear that another one of the paths in that level led me there from that direction, but I guess I was getting confused with something. Too much maze for its own good, literally making me think that I got lost and was already from a different path. I don't know. I hate that level. I still hate that level so much. That one's still my maximum least favorite level on this thing. But I also now realize that part of it was a self-inflicted wound. But I don't know. It's either the confusion of the level or the dementia's setting in. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. That is a big oof. Yeah, oops. Yeah, I really lost my mind when I first saw that. That was on Flashman's video. That was like a big, like, that was a big moment. It's like, this is the biggest waste of my time I've done this entire year. I can't believe I did this to myself. It's fine though, we can move on. Let's center back. What does Shinryu have to say about Thermal Tundra? I don't think I've ever wanted to like a stage, but just couldn't bring myself to as much as this one. Yeah, fair enough. Add to make a great level, nice visuals and theming, interesting gimmick, enemy and room synergy, and so on. More and more it goes on, it just turns into chaos. Agreed. I only got through that last scroll segment by luck. Let's see, amplify things in a negative way. I don't think it's entirely to blame for the stage's issues. On the temperature meter to be rather enjoyable to deal with the first half or so. Yeah, agreed. Although it did get kind of tricky with the heat telly. That one jump was kind of half thought out. Let's see, build up heat, race to the end. It's a great example of this. I feel like that would have made for a better finale. Like, I mean, I guess it was a finale to transitioning away from just standing on some heat blocks and then racing to an end. Then you were stuck on heat blocks afterwards, but I don't know. Still rubbed me the wrong way. Go through the room first, then fill in the meter, which actually gives you a good preview. Yeah, that's fair. Be stuck sitting around for too long. Herein lies the fatal flaw of the level. Temperature meter isn't the type of gimmick that works well when you have too many other elements at play. Yeah, the cave section leading up to Magma Devil along with the mini-boss itself already pushes the limits of what's manageable. As the room layouts start to get more complex, enemies begin piling up, your feet just start exploding for no good reason, a new gimmick that cools you down your meter's thrown in the mix, and it's not very rapid either. Things keep escalating. Knowing how many explosions I can fill the screen with. Challenges focus more on managing the cold meter variant. Tedious due to how slow some of the methods can be. And yet it still manages to sneak up on you and overcool you, like, really fast. Less said about the annoying process of getting the final token, the better. All this makes for an overly busy second half, which culminates at the end into an all-scroll segment so chaotic, I'd honestly be surprised if it was all even possible to avoid taking damage during it. Interesting end boss, same problem, too much. And I don't really care if I miss boss attacks too much. I just care about being able to read what the hell's going on, and I was not able to do so there. Could have been my favorite. Yeah, could have been good, but way too much. I didn't hate playing with Temple of Light and Dark. I'm pretty sure that came down to me being lucky I didn't die at certain parts. Also, black enemies on black background makes me angry. Yeah. Though, that wasn't so great. I don't know, for me it was at least a little bit more legible. Like, I was still able to see where everything was, but trying to watch someone else's recording of it, it's like, oh no, it's practically invisible. Like, no. Bad design. Oh yeah, and then there were just genuinely some screens where it was like completely, like literally just everything black. Not fun. I like the concept. Let's see, thought of managing is cool. Absurdly brutal. Yeah, absurdly brutal. Keep your temperature high in order to melt the ice blocks, because of an enemy unleashing a full screen attack if you don't kill it quickly enough. Multiple retries just to clear them because of the abundant temperature gatekeeping, often forced to wait in place. Yeah, kind of slows things down. Yeah, shifting pace of either rushing like a madman or standing still. Let's see, final section, auto-scrolling, being chased by an indestructible mini-boss, pulling by its projectiles and other storms of enemies. How are you expecting players to get through all of that? Agreed. A full package of pain with extra dip. And then Thermal Man, of course, you'd have to implement the temperature gimmick into his fight too. It's not so bad? I disagree. Not much stamina left. Yeah, it's starting to suck out the last of my brain juices. Oh yeah, Flashman's gonna have a lot to say about this stage. Overwhelming to the max. Poor communication, things being sprung on people, all the things that he hates. Let's see. Excited to see an interesting gimmick used in a variety of puzzle and speed-based challenges. I appreciated the sense of planning and structure from the checkpoints, challenge progression, and power-ups. I didn't mind the busy visuals or the innocuous music. I forgave the inconsistent technical polish, like having snow that melts beautifully, but ice that simply disappears. I had some reservations about the challenge design, unclear objective, awkward backtracking, but nothing significant enough to keep me from having fun. As the level progressed, it became harder to ignore the flaws. Spikes blend in with the foreground. Overdeveloped challenges ask the player to demonstrate mastery of each new element before being properly taught the basics. Extra audiovisual cues are desperately needed to alert the player to status changes and critical danger with the temperature meter. Like standing around on one of those thermal platforms, the longer I played the level, the more it hurt. Everything completely fell apart when the freezing mechanic was introduced out of nowhere. Freezing doesn't follow the same rules as heating. The meter drains even when standing on normal ground, which reads as a glitch, and makes the remainder of the level intolerably hectic. Players can easily skip over the tiles that trigger the freezing gimmick, rendering the level confusingly unbeatable. I can? No, they probably fixed that, but... For as cool of a set piece as the chase sequence is, and I like the monster design, I can't imagine getting through it without utilities and E-tanks. It makes the otherwise acceptable boss fight feel underwhelming and even unnecessary. Who even is that guy anyway? I could go on criticizing, but almost everything comes back to polish. The ideas are great, the structure is great, the execution is begging, pleading for refinement. What this level reminds me of, Doom Eternal. Too much happening all at once and my brain can't comprehend it all. I heard that, I would have to play Doom Eternal myself to establish that opinion, but it looked like kind of just an expansion on Doom 2016. Didn't maybe seem too overwhelming to me, but I don't know. Watching is different from having to play. What a mess, really confusing. What the bloody hell just hurt me mess. Yeah. They want to like this level, as everyone's seen. Oh god, real novel from Ace Spark. Okay. Dedication to its core, but oof, mechanics of the stage are introduced rather poorly. New player's going to have those steam vents. They don't hurt you. Not now. They're springs. Oh, but maybe they sometimes hurt you. Maybe. Well, that's the temperature thing. Icicles don't hurt you either. They don't, except sometimes they do. They don't. Never. No, they never do. Staying on level doesn't hurt you either, unless you're hot. When it does, you avoid the normal-looking ice platforms if you don't want to take constant second. Was enemy from Tengu Man stage that creates opaque clouds really called for? Was it? Yeah, it does kill the momentum having to recalibrate my brain every single time something new gets tossed at me. Not my favorite, for sure. Legitimately fun and original, keep cold puzzles, and please in a level like this where at any given moment a stage hazard or flood is manipulating your hot and cold levels. Each different tile has a different function, an alarming number of instant death spikes playing in the background. It's already too much. Cold mechanic is introduced. Yeah. The tokens, mini bosses is neat. It looks pleasing, an intriguing concept, but it becomes an utter mess, especially in the auto-scroller. Yeah, no, too much. Burn E-tanks. I certainly did. Stage condensed in a boss form, except he's so slow to actually do any attacks. He dies well before becoming a threat. Yeah, he is oddly sluggish. It would make more sense if maybe it was temperature dependent, but no. It's very different compared to 2016. You have to play it yourself to really understand, but there are a ton of things you need to keep track of in every major combat encounter. Well, I do intend to get into a lot of different Doom titles one day, so eventually we'll get there. Alright, hey, I could use a hat after that last one. Gimme. I've run out of boxes, so I'll put your pastry in a can and label it with an E so you remember to eat it. Alright. The devs ran out of things you could just put an E on. Oh hey, with different hats here. Sweet. I'll take another one. Trubli Taiyaki. You got any other things for me? Balaclava baklava. Yep. A classic joke. Done well. Let's see, I'm kind of disappointed. This place is more crowded. I like watching people wait in line behind me. Because you're a cutter. I get it. Doom 2016's a game I could recommend just about anybody. Doom Eternal is a different beast entirely. You can only recommend it if you can handle brutal difficulty and a lot of visual clutter. Yeah, it's kind of a shame. It almost seems like, it seems like id Software maybe establishes a bit of a pattern there with, between Wolfenstein and Doom, making a great re-release and then kind of a follow-up sequel with a lot of flaws. Hey, Ringman, are you going to sell me anything? We already went through E, W, and M. What could you possibly sell me? Something unique? Something, a key item, perhaps? I've made a single sale today. Everyone at the gym said they didn't want carbs, and everyone here wants a baguette. I'm not selling carbs or baguettes. These are bagels, very long bagels with the middles filled in. Morons. Right. Oh, well, that's the problem. You didn't even try to sell me anything, though. You didn't offer me a price. See, that's why I can't... No one's purchased anything from you. You need to have a text box that allows you to do so. Girder Man Stage. Girder Man Stage? Why the stage part? That's an odd part. That's an odd little facet to the name. I mean, that Doom Dark Age is a bit less hectic. Huh? There goes nothing, right? We can always hope. What? Is it... Okay. Well, I mean, I guess that clears up what this thing does. Okay. Alright. Safe introduction to a very weird enemy. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Construction workers just throwing shit at you. I saw the onigiri, I saw the E-tank. Wonderful. Okay, a bit of a time challenge to get past these obstacles now. Okay, they have predictive throwing, which, I mean, I guess is necessary to make them relevant as a challenge to dodge at all, but is always a little bit... You never like to see predictive aiming in gaming. It's always a little frustrating. Alright. Kind of... I mean, I guess if we're being as hard on aesthetics as we are in this contest, the music feels a little flat, if we're being honest. I don't know. It needs something in the... I can't tell what it needs, but it needs some extra layer. At least in my opinion. Oh, it's a Joe. That's a fun way to reinvent Donkey Kong. Enemy damage is too high. Yeah, I mean, I guess taking 6 damage from that one weird Flowey is going to send happiness pellets at that enemy. It's a little much, but so far it's felt manageable. Oh, that's solid. It didn't look solid. Is there anything for going left? Okay. No, there's nothing for going that way. Doing a small jump over the barrels. Oh, well, missed opportunity. Somehow I managed to not get 200 points or whatever. Oh, wait, hold on. The opportunity's here. Yeah! Gaming! This is what gaming is all about. Ow, 8 damage. That is a hell of a lot for an enemy to do. That is a hell of a lot of shielding you got for yourself there. I just love that detail. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's very appreciated. Attention to design. I just wish I was maybe incentivized to do it a little bit more, because, like, down there is, like, I don't want to try to jump over the barrels. It's simply easier to just blast my way through them rather than risk getting tripped up on one. Like, if they were indestructible, that would have been a good way for me to actually have to, you know, platform the way that little bonus flare implies. Yeah, but I can fall down here, get a head start. Thankfully, those things at least are pretty fragile. You can just take them out with a charge and a normal. Alright. Gonna be way easier to do it like this, though. I see the point in having this guy over here to make it so I have a relatively safe place to spam, but, like, I could just way more easily fan the hammer up close. 8 damage from that thing, too? Oh my god. Wait, checkpoint reached here? But there's still more stuff up there. Or maybe there isn't. Maybe it's just a bolt. I don't think I needed to come back this way. No, not at all. Alright. Kind of an underwhelming reward. I guess it wasn't that challenging to actually get through, but... Okay. Not a great surprise with me not being able to actually reach that enemy. This is the first time that you've introduced the idea of having to outrun that thing's bullets. That's not normal. Okay, third use of this boss. No? Okay, gotta bait the barrels a little bit more. Okay, this one's gonna require a little bit more timing. I'm guessing the ladder is gonna get camped. I'm willing to play ball for half a second, because this is a pretty interesting, is a very interesting mini-boss. How to actually deal with a completely different game's, ideas in Mega Man. Okay. Spam is still the way to go. You gotta take out all the fire, otherwise that's gonna be a ridiculous ask. You're gonna get overwhelmed very quickly. You know how much Donkey Kong lugs his girders. You know what Donkey Kong says? His signature catchphrase is, wait. Good old girders. Nothing beats that. Alright. Yeah, the little drill dude here is, again, completely invalidated by the existence of the ladders. Yeah, might have wanted to think that one a little bit more through level creator. Okay, Donkey Kong is maybe Joe Kong? Donkey Joe. Which do we prefer? He's outlived his welcome. This is the 5th time I've seen him. It's too much. Like Cranky Kong's catchphrase, I mean, he was the original Donkey Kong in the lore after all. Yeah. It's a catchphrase handed down through generations. How that works, I'm not quite sure, but... I think I might look for a weakness on this incarnation. I'm pretty sick of fighting this. Okay, what the hell are you weak to? Spark Chaser? No. Laser Trident? No. Water Shield? Sort of. In a roundabout sense. One of Donkey Kong's catchphrase is either Banana Slammer or shower you with coconut cream pies, or I don't know what's happening to me in C minor. Well, I feel like those are maybe catchphrases put upon to him, but those are catchphrases that are put upon to him. He would never say these things out loud. Unlike, you know, can't beat girders. Like, that's his signature. He's always said that. Little girders, nothing beats that. Cranky Kong has always said that. God, that cartoon was so weird. Oh wait, you're right. That is where that probably comes from. Yeah, I never watched it per se, like in full, but like I have seen, you know, YouTube video essays on that cartoon. Yeah, it was very weird. And modeling and animation alone itself was weird, but then everything else about it is just like, this is borderline hidden fetish material. Like, I feel uncomfortable watching this show, this kid's show. It's kind of like how, in retrospect, Totally Spies is just a brain show to watch as well. It's where it's like, there's some odd things buried within this show's concepts that could be innocent to a child, but kind of fall apart when you're a little older. Oh, hello, Girder Man. A snail bomb? Is that a bomb chew? Are you a Zelda boss? You're a bit fast. But I appreciate that this is an interesting randomized boss arena. I actually have to pay attention to what's going on and mind my spacing. Although, we are starting to get into randomized hell territory where we're starting to run out of space to actually jump. Why aren't these 4 tall gaps getting filled in? Okay, yeah, I'm out of space. Okay, try this again. This is also one of those stages that's wearing a little bit long too, overstaying its welcome. The Donkey Joe's hell. Or, I guess, don't help in this scenario. I don't feel like I have the room to dodge the Bomb Chew and Girder Man at the same time. Like, Girder Man does not present a very great opportunity to get under him and pass by. I mean, he jumps fairly high, but it also gets less and less high the longer the fight goes on for. Oh my god, just please, shoot him already! There we go, okay. Okay, fun boss in concept, kind of sloppy in execution. It could have used, like, something to get rid of some of the girders after some period of time. But yeah, overall, I mean, kind of interesting level. Competent enough music and aesthetics, though maybe a little bit repetitive on the aesthetic front. Kind of lacked in gimmicks, I'm just realizing. The stage had no gimmicks. It was all basic platforming and enemies that sort of presented a gimmick, but also not really. So, I mean, props for original enemies being fair and balanced, but overall, it felt rompy in a very rough way, not in a very pleasant way. And then, yeah, damage was also real high. Yeah, Girderman's battle is very RNG. Agreed. Just got stuck in the ceiling. Nice. Okay. Yeah, so there's certainly some rough things to work out here. I would have probably put this a little bit below some of the other levels. I mean, it's a little bit more inspired than, say, the Uranus remake, but it's not as fun. Not by a long shot. Want to like it a lot more than I do. I feel like I'm going to hear that line for the next couple of stages. As far as pure combat stages go, one of the better ones. No. It's satisfying whenever you kill them Buster only. The lunch workers are hilarious. That is true. It's got a lot of charm there. First member of the Joe crew is an effective mid-boss. Combine that with a distinct aesthetic. Likeable concept. Yeah, damage is high. Bills can kill you in almost 3 hits. The fire can also kill you in exactly 3 hits. Hong Joe is awkward. Those are the exceptions, as explosive rovers do a normal amount of damage. Yeah. Weird. It's one of the most balanced fighters of the stage, despite being a time limit boss with a spiky ceiling. Yeah, balanced, but also not fair. It just comes a damage race. Any issues with the stage design? Not really. Occasionally gonna be unclear where you're supposed to go. Yeah, very much agreed. Could have used just some more walls instead of, like, just, I don't know, go right up to the edge of the screen and walk against it. Doesn't matter. Damage values are tuned too much. Yeah. Didn't have the best time with the next stage. Mostly comes down to very spread out checkpoints. Fair warning, the second tug is a lot of instant death near it, and if you die, you restart the level. Well, I'll be taking that on tomorrow. We're reaching about 2 hours here. I'm just gonna go through the rest of Girderman's judge commentary, but, you know, we'll certainly have our, we'll certainly have it set out for us next time. Look at some of the things that end up happening in this level. It's certainly an interesting stage, that's for sure. Any good? Well, strange structures, agreed. Feel like from there on out, difficulty curve goes backwards. I mean, the Kong Joe difficulty keeps going up, but then, I don't know, everything else is kind of samey. Greenfly enemies are the main example I can give on this. They're certainly an interesting enemy type. Unique setups, by the end it's either to rush past them or dispose of them. Can't say I'm fond of little platform drill-based enemies, mainly due to how much damage they deal, and you can also just avoid, like, completely invalidate them most of the time, too. You want to point that out? Icarus and Donkey Kong main boss, yep. After the 4th time, the novelty wears off. Yeah, agreed. The room can easily glitch you out as well. If you jump into the room, you can clip into the wall and have a pretty decent chance of zipping off screen to your death. Fun! Girderman himself, damage race, yeah. But I'm not hitting anywhere near as hard as the enemies found on his stage, funnily enough, and while his fight is decently engaging, I do take issue with him not having a proper weakness, maybe Thunder Beam and Magnetic Shockwave. Aside of this on issues, a decently average DPS check styled fight. I don't like that, though, as a DP... Like, I mean, okay. DPS check where I can dodge? Sure. DPS check where it gets claustrophobic? No. Overtune damage output from the enemy just kind of ruined it. Yeah. Safety first. Where I'm at. Go home today in the same amount of pieces you started the stage with. So you could probably get 4 levels done tomorrow, say 5, but that level could be really long depending on how you feel about puzzle levels. I mean, it depends on how well-tuned my brain is. Certainly tonight my brain is not tuned for puzzle levels. I'm, you know, bordering on sleep right now, so... Yeah, it'll be definitely better to start off with tomorrow. Pretty funny concept of construction size stage, but don't let that fool you into false insecurity. Doesn't pull punches. Flying green drones. With an attack isn't always feasible, but it becomes mandatory later. Like the concept of the worker enemies attacking you and just taking lunch break. The tendency of sniping you. Well, yeah, they aim. There's your current position or a bit towards where you are moving to throw you off. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. I don't like that. Deal way too much damage to feel fair. The Buster. I was able to use the Buster for most of the stage. I just got sick of Kong Joe after a while. Too frequently. Joe's straight up near, if not outright impossible to Buster only. You just don't have a good mashing finger, Patchy. One of the checkpoint rooms where you can get yourself stuck if you magnet beam slide in the gap at the corner, a gap one might suspect to be a secret passage. Interesting fight, sort of reminds me of a backwards version of the Plague Knight fight. More blocks are getting added as the fight goes on, leading you smaller areas to deal with until you unavoidably bump into the spikes. Oh god, there's 2 typos in that sentence. No period and leading instead of leaving. Too low to hit with uncharged shots, maybe because he has iframes during the falling animation? Yeah, it was kind of hard to hit him with normal shots for some reason. I'm not sure what that was all about. Ground roaming mines. Bomb chews. Come on, bomb chews. Someone's got to recognize that. I don't even play Zelda and I recognize it's a bomb chew. You get stuck inside the falling block sometimes. It's fun. Somehow I never got bonked on the head by one either. I'm surprised that didn't happen. Thermal Tundra really did just consume most of the time today, huh? I kind of forgot how long that one was. I don't feel like it took up that much time, but I guess it did. We only got through, like, what, 4 or 5 levels? I guess that's where most of it got spent. Then again, I don't know, some of these, I think some of the other rants definitely helped along with the levels. I ranted about Bog Standard and the Light and Dark and everything like that again, so... you know, where the time goes. This building isn't quite up to code. Quite a few renovations wouldn't hurt, but it's got good bones. I should start by telling you where your functionality score went. So many girders filling up the boss chamber that I didn't have anywhere to put those points. Permanently trapped inside of a falling girder. It's easy to destroy girder man in the wrong place at the wrong time. Guessing that got fixed. Whole level. Oops, stage. Yeah, it's called stage. Let's see. Fun new ideas. Fun of the workers on lunch break. Most of the criticism of functionality comes down to what I'd like to see, not things that need to change. Problems with unclear directionality, unrestricted backtracking, and not fully accounting for special weapon use. I've seen some quibbles with how the screen count eventually makes the music feel stale. The music felt kind of off from the very beginning, so... Custom sprites following different graphical styles. The flying enemy is maybe a boot. Yeah, it looked kind of weird. It looked kind of like like someone shoved a bee in a stocking, let's be honest. Other minor things, but there are also very successful elements. Excellent theming, nice looking tiles, great attention to detail. Jumping over the barrel gets you points. Yep, very nice. Early fan game era. Very agreed. That is what this feels like. I could see this in some kind of weird Mega Man versus the world kind of crossover. Not with Scott Pilgrim versus the world, but versus all the other world of video gaming. Fun atmosphere, nice music. My favorite first, yes, the Kong Devil. That's that's a combination of words. That is a strong phrase. Kong Devil. I want to see a proper Kong Devil now. Come on. Big Labor having his lunch is rather funny. Really, there's that damn word again. Bog Standard. A romp of enemy challenges, many of which feel rather haphazard. Screens get rather cluttered. Definitely agreed. Damage output's too high. Screens are taxing. Difficulty in Kong Devil is crazy. Give me bootleg Game Boy vibes, but actually high quality. Does that make sense? It does make sense. It's like somebody decided to put the spirit of Mega Man out there and like just, you know, sold some weird flea market cartridge. But it's like actually not kind of that bad if you just think about it a little bit. If you just, you know, take your time with it and realize that you're playing, you know, what's essentially a worn out shoe. It's like, oh, this ain't too bad for a worn out shoe, actually. Yeah, Ends up eye rolling the 6th time you fought the damn thing. For once, I agree with you, A-Spark. Graphics are kind of mixed bag. Yeah, definitely. Oops. Hopefully, interesting fight. Showed out the early fan game scene. Yeah, very simplistic sprite. If only the fight was a little bit less messy. Kong Devil and his friend, the Satanic Yeti. I bought a haunted Mega Man game from a homeless man. I wanted to play it. The game called me a bitch. Did it tell you to brush your teeth as well? Man. If you know a Halloween-themed Mega Man game, I would love to hear it, because I'm trying to think and prepare for October, but I cannot find one myself that is Halloween-themed. The only best I can do right now is I'm thinking of maybe playing, what is it, Sweet Home, this obscure RPG that was made by the Mega Man director Tokuro Fujiwara. I might want to play that for Halloween. It's such a niche little thing that I've always wanted to like share and experience myself, but like I can't think of anything that's like actually Mega Man Halloween themed. So, you know, channel retention, all that, blah blah blah. But I feel like my previous comment doesn't work unless you didn't buy Sauce Joel's spooky voice. Oh, let's see. What am I trying to think of his spooky voice? I know his like stupid incredulous voices, but I'm trying to think like spooky. Like I bought this. Yeah, that's what it is. I bought a haunted Mega Man game from a homeless man, and when I went to play it, the game called me a bitch. Maybe, hopefully that was good. Hopefully that was a good impression for you. But yeah, so that'll do it for tonight. I need to call it a little. No, I won't say quite early, but I guess early in my time zone. So thanks for joining tonight. We'll be going through the rest of Tier 9 next time, and maybe, I don't know, touch upon some random miscellaneous thing, or start Tier 10, one of those things. So yeah, have a good night, everyone. See you, Grimspecs. See everyone else later, too. Bye-bye.